Hey everybody, Cptn.Canuck here, and today we're going to be talking about a game from the ESL One Kuala Lumpur group stages, which is IG versus Falcons, game number 2. Now this was a particularly interesting one because after game 1, both teams were 5-2 in the group, and they're all tied up, and after the series, IG would go on to win one more best of 2 and top their group out at 8-2, and Falcons would come in second at 7-3. So this game ended up mattering a lot. And when I first watched it, I thought that IG might have just been secured upper bracket. They were already set. But no, they were still in the thick of it, and they just decided to go very bold with their drafting. Now, something interesting that this video isn't really about here, but I wanted to touch on it anyways, is they go into this draft, they first phase Mag, that's pretty normal. And then they pick Clinks as their third overall pick. Now, this hasn't been seen at all in this tournament. Nobody has played Clinks up until this point, and they pick it, and not only do they pick it, but they follow it up with a TA and a DK as their safe lane and mid lane, meaning that Clinks ends up being a 4 position. So kind of quirky, kind of weird there, and so far IG's done that once more. They're the only team to play Clinks at this event, and they've played it twice as a 4 position. So maybe something that they're understanding that we're not here, so maybe something to keep an eye out on. But what I actually wanted to talk about today was this ridiculous sequence of events, maybe the funniest 2 minutes of Dota I've ever seen in my life. Now, we start down here on the bottom lane. Amar has just TP'd down here just to kind of hold it and just passively farm the lane against JT. JT is pulling the creeps from behind the tower, and boom, he's on the cliff. And JT is laughing. We're all having a great time. The Centaur just TP'd down here too, so he's got no TP for a full minute. So Amar looks for a high five, and he's going to be left hanging up on the cliff. We all get a good laugh out of that. Now, JT goes back to his triangle to farm his ancients, and oh look, they're invading. Snaking, hey buddy, up on the cliff, there you go. So he gets 2 cliffs right in a row, and then goes immediately back to farming, because he goes, what are you going to do, Lena? You're going to fight us by yourself? 2 of your homies are on the cliff, and I know that. Haha. So Enchantress is just stuck up in here. She also TP'd, so she's there for a full minute, and he's just having a great time on his ancients here. Now, this is all fine and good, but then he dies to the ancients. Look at this. He's having such a good time laughing at his 2 cliffs that he fails to pay attention to the ancient stack he's farming, ends up losing it, and dies. And the lion comes in and cleans up a couple creeps. Now, Falcons get off their cliffs. They go and they invade. They say there's stacks there. We got to deal with this. And JT respawns, TP's in onto the outpost here. And he's looking for it again. You know he's looking for it. He's looking at the Centaur. He lines it up. Can't quite find it. Lets Amar go. Gets going onto chasing down Snaking. Follows him up, and you know he wants it again. Starts walking around the front of him. Decides, okay, you know what? It's good enough. We'll just get it there. Manet can have the kill, and we'll move on with our days. But this sequence was just too funny for me not to look at. The fact that he gets 2, almost 3 cliffs, and then dies to his own ancients laughing at himself. It's just absolutely absurd. I love it. Now, this clip was awesome, and it was just the beginning of the game. Ends up being a very tight game, actually goes back and forth quite a bit, but in the end, IG take the game, and that will cap them out 2-0 against Falcons. And that puts them at the top of the group. So 8-2 for them in the end of the group stage, 7-3 for Falcons, and they claim the top seed. Now that doesn't end up helping them all that much because they end up losing their first match in the playoffs, and they're down in the lower bracket right now, awaiting their competitors. So we'll see how things play out for IG. But either way, this game was a highlight. It was absolutely hilarious. It's so good to watch. Go check it out. It was super funny. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the future is for this team at the rest of ESL One Kuala Lumpur. Anyways, you guys have been brilliant. Thank you so much for watching. You're all beautiful. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.